Don't you love that line at the end of the first reading, after Jesus has been taken up in the sight of the apostles, and they're all looking up, and the angels appear and say, "Hey, what are you doing looking up at the sky? You've got work to do. He's not coming back for a while. Get moving. Why are you looking up at the sky? It's our job now. He's commissioned us." I don't know if there are any opera fans here, but I suspect there may be a couple. One of the great opera composers was Puccini. Everyone loves his operas. The last one he wrote was one called Turandot. He got cancer not long after he began it. And many people told him, "You've got to give up this opera and focus on getting healthy. You've got to take care of yourself." But he said, "No, this is what I need to do." And he said, "If I die before I finish this opera, you can finish it for me." He said to his friends, "You're my friends. You know how I think." And that is exactly what happened. He got about 3/4 of the way through the opera, and he died. And his friends took the manuscript that he left and finished it. Its premiere was in 1926 in Milan, and one of the most famous conductors ever, Alberto Toscanini, was the one leading the symphony that night. And he led them all the way through the opera until the point where they got to the last measure that Puccini wrote. And at that point, he brought everybody to a rest and said, "This is where the master died." And there was a moment of silence and of great emotion. And then after everybody had gotten that out of themselves, he said, "And this is where his friends began." And he finished the opera. That's exactly what this feast is about. The master has undertaken an amazing campaign. He has begun incredibly ambitious work. And now he's ready to hand it off to us. It is our turn to take the wheel. Now, the difference between this and what happened to Puccini is that Jesus did not die on Ascension Day. Good Friday was the day that he died. So they were not saying goodbye to him in the way that we say goodbye to someone in death. But it is the moment that this phase of his work was done, and that it was up to us to take the wheel. He was turning over this project to us. And he said it a bunch of different ways to us before he went. He said, "I don't call you slaves. I call you friends." Just like Puccini said, "You're my friends. You know how I think. You can finish my work for me." I have some friends that are the parents of a large family. They have 8 children. I think the range of ages now is 24 down to 5. They all live in one house with one bathroom. And they homeschool the kids. They're troopers, these people. And I love the feeling of being in their house and being with their family. So one day I was talking to the dad, who is a particularly wonderful and patient guy. And I said, "How do you handle discipline around this place? I mean, you've got a lot of kids, and they're around all the time. What do you do when they misbehave?" And he said, "Well, I don't lecture them. I don't try to reason with them. I don't do any of that." He said, "I try not to yell, because what good is it going to do?" He said, "I always say to them, you know what's right. Do the right thing." And this is how it works. If he comes into the living room and somebody has left a towel on the floor, he goes over and he points to it, and he looks at the nearest kid, and he says, "Do the right thing." And if it's a good day, they go and take the towel. When they start squabbling at the dinner table, he doesn't say, "Come on, guys, that's not what dinner's for. We're a family." He doesn't do that. He says, "Do the right thing." And if it's a good day, one of them will say, "All right, I'm sorry." He said, "My kids already know what to do." He said, and all of us do. All of us know what's the right thing to do. The trick is to do it. We need to do the right thing. Do you remember a few years ago when there was that craze? People had bracelets and t-shirts that said, WWJD, what would Jesus do? And that is actually a really profound question. That's a wonderful question for us to ask ourselves in any situation. But it is kind of funny sometimes, isn't it, that we might pretend we don't know what Jesus would do? Like we're saying, "Oh man, I've got this grudge against this person I really don't like. I wonder what Jesus would do." And what would he say? Do the right thing. We know what the right thing is. A lot of times we tell ourselves we don't, and there are complicated situations that take a while to sort through. But we know what's right, and that's what Jesus is trying to tell us in this. He's saying, you are the plan that God has for how this is going to get done. There is no backup plan. There's no other race of humans that's going to do this for us. And it's not up to the birds and the kitty cats to take this over. This is our work. We're the children of God. We are the ones who must do this. And we can protest and say, but we don't know how to do this. We don't know where to go. But Jesus said to his followers, you know the way because you know me. I am the way, he says, and the truth and the life. You know how to get to the Father because you know me. So tonight is a night when we ask for strength and take a deep breath and move into the driver's seat and take the wheel, because that's what Jesus' Ascension is all about. And whenever we're not sure what to do next, we can just remember to do the right thing.